Assalamualaikum students, welcome to another video from UA code 127.0.0.1. Students, in my today lecture I am going to work on another walkthrough from TryHackMe platform. This is vulnerability, and in this walkthrough you are going to learn about active reconnaissance, web app attacks and privilege escalation. So keep in touch with me during my whole lecture with your full attention. I assure you definitely guys you will learn some new stuff in this video. And before going to start, I would recommend it that you should have basic knowledge of the following topic. It's not necessary, but it will help you to solve the task more efficiently and more effectively. So students, you should have knowledge about Nmap, directory busting, Bubsuit, and Linux file system permissions, and how you can actually set environmental variable. It's not necessary, but if you have knowledge of these topics, then definitely it will help you to solve this lab. Okay, attacking machine is open. I'm going to start the attacking machine, and the victim machine is already running here. You can see. So let's start from step 1. In step 1, deploy the machine. I have already deployed. Task 2, reconnaissance. Gather information about this machine using a network scanning tool called Nmap. Students, I am going to use a tool that is called Nmap for scanning purpose. If you don't know about the Nmap, then here is a reference link is present. You can check this in order to solve this lab, in order to gather information about Nmap. Okay, I'm going to simply scan this target machine by using Nmap. I typed here Nmap and then hyphen SCV switch and then victim IP address, and I would like to save the result in a text file. That's why I specify here result.txt and hit enter. Okay, it should be capital V, and now I hit enter. Nmap will complete its result after a few moments. Basically, Nmap is a free open source, and it's a powerful tool which you can use to discover hosts and services on computer network. You can use this tool in order to find how many hosts and which services are actually running on a computer network. Different switches are present here. You can use all these, and there are many Nmap cheat sheets online. You can avail online cheat sheets of Nmap as a reference. Okay, it's completed the result. If I typed here ls, see result.txt is present here. Now let me show actually what is the present in result.txt. This is the output of Nmap. Port 21 of this target machine is open. Port 22 is open. SSH service is running on this port. Port 139 is open. Port 445 is open. Obviously, port 139 and 445 is reserved for NetBIOS. And port 3128 is also open. 3333 port is also open. If I scroll below, you can see some other information is present in front of me. Let's move to the question. The first question is that scan the box. How many ports are open? If I count all these ports, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So students, total 6 ports of this target machine is open. The answer is 6. What version of the SQID proxy is running on the machine? Let me show you. See, the proxy is running on this port 3128, and the proxy version is 3.5.12. So the answer is 3.5.12. Okay, how many ports will Nmap scan if the flag -p-400 was used? Students, if you will use this port, then obviously 400 ports of any victim machine will be scanned. Let's move to the next question. Using the Nmap flag -n, what will it not resolve? Okay, let me show you what is the purpose of -n switch. Okay, I will type here main. Main is a command actually that will provide detailed information about any tool, any command. I typed here main Nmap and hit enter. Okay, it shows the name of tool, some description about the tool is present here. It's also show me the example how you can actually use Nmap. If I scroll below, see, different switches are present here. You can read thoroughly in order to clear your concept. Okay, if I check -n, you can see -n or capital R basically never do DNS resolution, always resolve. So the answer of this question is DNS. Let's move to the next one. What is the most likely operating system this machine is running? Okay, let me show you. I'm going to the result.txt again. Exit from here. If I type here cat result.txt and hit enter. Okay, students, you can see the server is running on port 3333. Apache web server is running on this port. So the answer of this question is 3333. It's important to ensure you are always doing your reconnaissance thoroughly before progressing. Students, it's very important that you should always doing your reconnaissance phase very thoroughly in order to exploit further. So you should do your reconnaissance very efficiently. Okay, let's move to the task 3, locating directories using GoBuster. Before that, I will move to my browser, and now I will browse this target machine, copy the IP address from here, paste it. Okay, port 80 of this target machine is not open. I should specify here the port number on which the server is running, that is 3333. See, a very nice front look of this website is present here. Okay, using a fast directory discovery tool, GoBuster. Students, GoBuster is a tool that you can actually use in order to find hidden directories of target machine. You can use any other tools like Derby, Diebuster. Right now, I'm going to use GoBuster. Here is a reference link is present. You can install GoBuster from here. I have already installed GoBuster. I'm not going to install this. I'm just going to use it by typing GoBuster and then dir, and here I should specify the target IP address, that is 10.10.41.115, and now I will specify here the word list -v, that is word list is present in user shared word list directory buster, and then if I tag, I'm going to use the small one, that is this one. I'm going to copy this from here and paste it. Okay, error occurred, unable to connect. Okay, I should specify the port number. As you know, port 80 is not open, that's why I should specify here the port number on which the web server is running. Okay, see, all the hidden directories of this target machine is present here. Images, CSS, JSS, fonts, internal. Let's check one by one. If I type here images and hit enter, all the images files are present here. See? Okay, if I type here JS and hit enter, JavaScript files are present here. Okay, if I check fonts, some fonts files are present here. Now, if I check internal and hit enter, oh, finally I get a upload form. Okay, now I can able to upload any malicious payload in web server. What is the directory that has an upload form? You can see the directory that has an upload form is internal. Internal is the directory that has an upload form. Let's move to the task 4, compromise the web server. Okay, now we have found a form to upload files. We can leverage this to upload and execute or payload that will lead to compromising the web server. Students, now I am able to upload any malicious payload to this server by using this upload page. Okay, before further processing, try upload a few file types to the server. What common extension seems to be blocked? Okay, it's time to check actually which type of extension I'm able to upload on this target machine. For this purpose, I'm going to create a file. I typed here nano. If I typed here shell, okay, I typed here file 1.php and hit enter. I typed anything in it. Hi there. Okay, I'm going to save it. You can type anything. If I ls, you can see file1.php is present here. Now let's try to upload this to the web server. I'm going to click on browse. You can see file1.php is present here. I'm going to copy this and click on open. When I click on submit, Oh, extension not allowed. It's mean I'm not able to upload the PHP file. Okay, now if I rename the file 1.php to file php file 1.php to 1 and hit enter, ls, see, this file is present here. Let's try to upload this one. If I click on browse, select the file, that is this one, click on open, click on submit. See, I am not able to upload this file as well. It means PHP extension is not allowed. Let's try another one. Now I typed here move file 1.php to file 1.phtml. I'm going to use this extension ls. You can see the file is present here with extension phtml. Now I'm going to upload this. I will select the file from here, click on open and now click on submit. Success. See, it means that I'm able to upload phtml file extension. The question is that what common extension seems to be blocked? The extension that is blocked is PHP. Okay, to identify which extensions are not blocked, we are going to fuzz the upload form. Students, you can use Bubsuit to fuzz the upload form. I'm not use the Bubsuit, but it's option for you. You can use Bubsuit to fuzz the upload form. All the procedure is mentioned here. You can apply this method as well in order to find actually which extensions are allowed and which are not. Okay, let's move to the question. Run this attack. What extension is allowed? As you can see, PHTML extension is allowed. Okay, now we are going to use the PHP reverse shell as a payload. Download the following reverse shell from here. Okay, I will move to the terminal. If I type here locate reverse shell.php. Okay, you can see reverse shells are present here. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to copy by pressing Ctrl Shift C. I typed here cp. Okay, copy this payload to root and hit enter, ls. Okay, you can see the shell is present here by with extension .php. I should change its extension. As you know, this extension is not allowed. That's why I typed here move PHP reverse shell to phtml and hit enter. Okay, I typed here. Okay. I typed here PHP. I should specify the new extension here phtml and hit enter, ls. The reverse shell is present here. Now I should change the IP address in it. If I check my IP address by typing ipadd and hit enter, my IP address is this one. I'm going to copy this from here. Okay, now I'm going to open the reverse shell by using nano editor, nano, and then okay. PHP, the name is PHP reverse. I typed here nano PHP reverse shell.phtml and hit enter. Oops, spelling mistake. It's nano. Okay, the shell is open here. Now I should change the IP address in it. I'm going to the IP address and I will type my IP address in it. And you can also change the port number. Right now I'm not going to change the port number. I'm going to just save it. Okay. I'm going to activate the netcat in order to get the reverse shell. I typed here nc port 1234, hit enter. Okay. Now I'm going to upload this reverse shell. You can see shell is present here. I'm going to select this shell, open it, and now submit. Success. It's mean shell is successfully submitted. Let me show you. If I check the upload, if I move to the upload directory, okay, you can see when I browse the uploads, my reverse shell is present here. This one, php reverse shell.html. Okay, netcat is activate in order to get the reverse shell. When I click on this, let me show you. I am successfully gain the reverse shell. See, if I type here pwd, okay, ls, okay, if I move to the cd home, ls, cd bill, ls, okay, this is the flag. Let's move to the question. The question is that what is the name of user who manage the web server? Okay, students, how you can actually find the user? Let me show you. Students, if I typed here cat etc/password and this is the command that is actually you can use in Kali Linux to show the all user. As you know, the Ubuntu is running on this target machine. All the users is present here, and the user that is only have bash permission is this one. Bash shell is this one, Bill. The other user do not have this bash shell. It's mean this user manage the web server, that is Bill. You can copy the name and paste to the answer section. Okay, what is the user flag? If I type here pwd, I'm already present in Bill, and now if I type ls and cat user.txt and hit enter, see, I'm successfully gained my first flag, that is user. You can copy it from here, paste to the answer section. Okay, let's move to the task 5, that is privilege escalation. Now you have compromised this machine. We are going to escalate our privilege to become the super root user. How you can actually become super root user? In Linux, SUID set owner user ID upon execution is a special type of file permission given to a file. Okay, now students, I am going to check SUID files. Actually, that files which are set to SUID, it's mean these files can be executed by the user. So I'm going to check which files have SUID permission. I typed here find space. If I typed here user root hyphen permission and hyphen 4000, and now if I typed here this one and ls and then hyphen lgb and now hit enter, you can see it's try to display all the files which have SUID permission. A very long list is displayed to me. Okay, if I scroll up, some files do not have permission. You can see permission denied, denied. Okay, here you can see system CTL is present here. Basically, system CTL stands out of all other files which have a set UID enabled because it's not normal to have set UID enabled on system CTL. Okay. The question is that on the system, search for all SUID files, what files stand out? So the file that is beneficial for me is bin systemctl bash. Now students, Students, now it's time to create set a variable. First of all, I will use this command, that is this one. I can copy this from here, move to the terminal and paste it here. Okay, if I hit enter, okay, let's try the next one. Basically this command create an environmental variable. Now I'm going to copy this one. It will create a unit file and assign this to the environmental variable and hit enter. Let's move to the next step, that is this one. I'm going to copy this from here and paste it, hit enter. Okay, now I will type the install. You can take this command from GFTO binary website. Okay, now I'm going to run this unit file by using systemctl. Finally, link is created. I'm going to enable this variable that is created and press enter. Okay, now if I move to the temp folder, if I type here ls, finally output is present here. If I type cat output and hit enter, see, this is our root user flag. You can copy and paste to the answer section. Students, these commands you can find from this website. If I type here GFTO bins, it's a very useful website for Python libraries. If I type Control F and systemctl and systemctl suid, all these commands are present here. You can copy it from here and use in this walkthrough. So students, this is all about my today video. In this video, you learn about how you can actually perform reconnaissance by using Nmap. You also learn about how to use GoBuster tool in order to find the hidden directories. You also learn about how to actually compromise the web server and how to know about which extensions are file extensions are allowed to upload to a web server and which extensions are not allowed. Okay, definitely students, you will do practice about this lecture. I will come to you with my new lecture tomorrow. Till that, Allah Hafiz and take care.